This is tonight's finale at 170 pounds for Piscataway in the black and gold. It's Nick Recine. Recine is a junior, and for Carteret, Demetrius Ruiz, a senior. And Mike, this goes back to your point earlier about New Brunswick and programs that are coming back. Carteret, which dropped wrestling any number of years ago, now back, and they've got a kid in the finals.
I know. And you know, wrestling appeals to kids. A lot of inner city kids, you want to call them that way. You know, I've been in Perth all my life. Inner city, you know, Carteret, you know, maybe not as bad, and you know, New Brunswick. You know, this is something these kids can get in, individual team sport, give them focus in their life. You know, most of the coaches, you know, that are involved with the wrestling programs in these towns are 24/7 with the kids. Anytime you call us, because, you know, unfortunately in these towns, a lot of times there is no parent involvement. So this is a great sport for the kid that's looking to be part of a family and things of that nature, you know? So I'm glad to see the programs going that year. And then also just the amount. Colonia and Woodbridge. Woodbridge Township, you know, two county champs this year. So, you know, it's good. Colonia too. I think the last, I am really trying to remember the last time Colonia had a county champion. I don't know if I can.
It's nice they got one this time as Recine from Piscataway takes a 2-0 lead, got the takedown, and he is working aggressively on Ruiz. Ruiz a lot taller. Again, you know, this Mutt and Jeff situation, a little bit taller by Ruiz, has the leverage. Recine with the bar in.
And as a side note, Ruiz's father wrestled for me in Perth Amboy. He was a district champ, Orlando Ruiz. And now, you know, here's his son. So, you know, it's just amazing to see, you know, how we are now being involved with the children of the kids the wrestlers that we had.
It's a great thing, but it also says we're getting old. Recine,
come on, man.
Recine 20-2 on this season, and Ruiz 21-3. So a good matchup as far as their records go, as Recine tries to get legs in. 20 seconds to go here in the first period.
Also a lot of team things here. With that win, Perth Amboy and Colonia are now tied for 5th place, and if Piscataway pulls this out, they will move into 2nd place over Monroe.
Well, Piscataway was the 2nd place team last year, edging out Monroe by 2.5 points. South Plainfield won again last year in 2017. Followed by Piscataway and Monroe. So we may have a similar finish again this year as the period comes to a close with Nick Recine from Piscataway up 2-0. Here at 170 pounds, the 170-pound weight class sponsored by CJA Wrestling Club in East Brunswick. CJA has produced champions at all levels for over 15 years. CJA Wrestling, call 908-421-0124. Visit them on Facebook. And we have an injury time. It looks like they are taking a look at Recine from, at Ruiz of...
You know, speaking of wrestling clubs, you know, that's been the difference since we started.
Oh, yeah.
You know, absolutely. You have CJA here, you have Club Rhino, you have Scorpions in North Jersey. Turns out lots of champions. Peak, if that's still around, you have the Shore. So,
is
you know,
Edge still around?
I think Edge might. I think it is.
Just a reminder, your outstanding wrestler
Apex. So, you know,
following this match,
these are making the kids better. I know sometimes it's a problem as coaching goes, because you as the high school coach are coaching these kids, and then the other guy is coaching the kids, and you know your legion's sometimes there, and you know, I mean, you have to develop a good relationship, you know, and. I realize what the clubs do, but I also would tell the kids, I mean, the first time I see you look and understand at your club coach will be the last time you wrestle for me. Because I've seen it happen at the state tournament. Kids are caught. The club coach is saying one thing, the high school coach saying one thing, and then where's the club coach on the bus ride home?
Absolutely. Ruiz was...
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, it's difficult. They're getting additional time and coaching from the club coach, but that's not who their loyalty should be. They're wrestling for this team as Recine takes the bottom. Ruiz had his ankle taped up. It looks like he got banged up a little bit there, and he will cut Recine for one.
I think everybody's got to get along, and, you know, you got to understand that, and I think, you know, nobody can doubt what the clubs have done, but I've seen how sometimes, maybe not as much as today as it has been in the past, where the kids were actually like torn. The coach was telling them one thing, and the club coach in the stands was telling something else, and the kid didn't know what to do.
I think what's happening a little bit in wrestling is similar to what happened in the AAU basketball, where the kids were doing more with the AAU basketball. The coaches had more influence with college coaches, and the athletes are the ones that are being hurt ultimately. I mean, in wrestling, and Recine getting the takedown.
On the positive side, and we're not bashing the club. We're just saying that, it has helped the sport, but sometimes there's a conflict. But also, think of the smaller schools that the kid doesn't have anybody to work with. The only way he's getting better is by going to the club.
Absolutely.
So at that matter, yes, the clubs do. So, we all this is all for the kids, and as long as everybody, is in it for the kids, and that's it,
I mean, theoretically, you're trying. You should be working for the benefit of the athlete.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing something to help the athlete and have them improve as an athlete, as a person, and hopefully give them opportunities to go down the line, then why are you doing it? So. It's 5-0. We have 50 seconds to go here in the second period. Nick Recine looking for another championship for Piscataway over Demetrius Ruiz from Carteret. Carteret injured his ankle, looked like earlier. They taped up right over his shoe.
Don't be sad. Smile.
You've got legs in by Recine. He's got that far arm trying to pull it across.
160-pound medal winners, please be in that area. 173rd and 4th place medal winners, please be in that area.
Trying to get a smile on Pacheco's face here, but hey, everybody wants to win big, but hey, county champ will always be a county champ, and I tell all these kids, it's not going to matter 10 years down the road that you only won by a point. You'll always be a county champ. You'll always be a state champ, a district champ, or whatever.
They can't take that away from you. We're at the end of 2 periods, and Nick Recine of Piscataway, a 5-0 lead over Demetrius Ruiz.
Well, just a side note, Ruiz has come down. He was in 82 all year, and he's come down to 70. And people looking at this match might think it was going to be a blowaway, but the Ruiz kid is hanging tough. He's a little shaken up now with his leg, but he is hanging tough. So you got to give him credit. A lot of pride there. Seems like he's wrestling on one foot, but Recine hooks that bad ankle.
Yeah, he came back limping when they taped him up. He was still hurting a little bit, but you go through it. You fight through that.
Kid, Carteret's tough. You got tough kids, man. You got tough kids all over. Coleman okay there? I didn't want him to go crazy.
We have another injury time. Again, Ruiz is banged up a little bit. That ankle must be hurting, or maybe there's something else. This time it's blood. And this blood timeout is sponsored by Dr. Ed Marion of Home Care Rehab. Ed is a licensed physical therapist. He's also an official here in New Jersey. And he brings that care straight to your home. Visit dremarion.com or call 732-610-2528. They are cleaning up the mat. This time, not an injury, as blood time.
On a positive note here, my friends, the officials. Everybody out there that thinks they can do better, become an official. We need young officials. We don't need 15, 60-year-old guys, all right? We need you young guys that, work your jobs where you can come into and you can make some money out there, all right? If you still want to stay involved with the sport, become an official. Hook up with Stu Cohen. That's how you stay involved. Start working the rec tournaments. Then you work your way to freshman and JV match in high school. Still stay involved because, as the profession gets older, a lot of our officials are getting older, and we need some of the young blood to come in, and now's a perfect opportunity for you guys listening to this and out there in the YouTube nation. Get out and become an official. Support it. It's a tough job. I know we've had our battles over the years, but it is a tough job, and I do respect them, and I think the ones that know me understand that.
Absolutely, Mike. I was just an average wrestler in high school. I knew I wasn't going to go on and wrestle anyplace else, but I started to officiate in college, and I went into football officiating, and you're doing something, one, that a lot of people don't want to do, and something you enjoy. It keeps you involved in a sport that you love, that you really enjoy being a part of. As Recine gets a takedown, a little aggressiveness that didn't work out well for Ruiz. But and you can, as you said, you make some money. But I think the more important thing is being a part of a culture that is a family. Wrestling is very different from a lot of other sports. You know people, you see people at the tournaments and
lifetime friends.
Really.
And wherever I go in the country, I've seen people. I've been in this sport 35 years. And Bob, you've been there just with me. We were back in the day when I was at Sayreville Middle School and you were at Hammersholt or Churchill in East Brunswick.
Right.
But the friendships you make, you go to the national tournament, people come up to you on the parkway, people waving to you, beeping to you, and it's just the camaraderie that's developed in this sport is just unlike anything else. And anybody who's wrestled, somebody once said this to me, Kenny Pagash, there's a difference. I played football, I played basketball, than saying I wrestled.
Oh, no.
It's a big difference.
Well, as we often say, you play those other sports. You don't play wrestling. You wrestle.
And anybody that thinks that this isn't tough, just go to a practice. And then we'll see how really tough we are.
Recine dominating this match here at 170 pounds. He's got a leg in. He's trying to get that cross body, and I don't think he's going to get it. Ruiz is too long.
Position. The rule here is you got to break criteria, supposedly before you put this behind your back. I think that's the rule. And a lot of officials maybe don't understand that, but with the guillotine, I think you have to get the two, or at least break criteria.
You got to bring him back. You've got to break him back because you can't use that arm to stretch him out like that.
You can just torque somebody's shoulder out, and that's not a good idea.
23 seconds to go here. Nick Recine in a comfortable lead, 7-0 over Demetrius Ruiz. He will be a champion for
big throw here.
unless that big throw comes.
It almost came. That's his only shot here. Only shot is going for the throw. Try to put him to his back. I give him credit. Ruiz is wrestling tough. He's wrestling hard. He's like his father. He's wrestling tough. No disgrace.
And at 170 pounds, the champion of the Greater Middlesex Conference Tournament from Piscataway, 7-0, Nick Recine.